Hi guys, a lot of you ask about what's going on with the conservatory. So in this video that I'm going to split in probably a few sections, I want to first show you how frozen plants look like, because some people have commented and said, why don't you just leave some of the frozen plants? Of course we left those plants that are partially frozen that can grow, but when the plant is frozen it's gone. So I'm going to show you that first, then I'm going to show you one of my plants that is a survivor of the freezing in the conservatory. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about good and bad things, what's going on in the conservatory, what are we working on, and then I'm gonna answer to your question about the donations and how can you help, and also show you a generous gift that the conservatory got from one of the people that watched my videos. So let's start. So here are Sansevierias that have frozen. We have tried to take some cuttings to see if they can propagate, but most of it is gone. Then this beautiful Sedum Adolphi froze. There is survivors, so I'm gonna have to propagate, cut it all, but it was so beautiful before freezing. The agaves survived. Then here there is pot with aloes. They froze. Even the soft center that's still green, I don't think it's gonna survive. Just gonna have to go through trash. This one froze. This Madagascar tree froze. They're hoping it's gonna grow again. This beautiful big years-long growth euphorbia froze. It's all mushy. It's gonna have to be cut up and thrashed. Further down is Euphorbia Tirukali pencil tree, and it's also all frozen. You can see it's all pale yellow. It was green, so we're gonna have to cut it up and put it to garbage as well. This big Opuntia cactus brasiliensis, I think its name, lost all its petals, and we might cut it in half and see if it's gonna grow. Yeah, there is some dead plants here. Jades and aloes and agaves. Then here this one died. I will check for the survivors, but it's all very, very mushy all the way to the bottom, so I don't know if there is anything good there. This one froze as well. I'm surprised for this agave that it froze, but it did. And then here hanging are my dogtail cactuses that I donated. They froze, as you can see, completely mushy and yellow. There is some healthy parts, cuttings, that I think I'm gonna cut and see if they can grow. So empty window seal where Hawortius were that froze, looking really sad. And then here in the desert dome, there is this Opuntia that partially froze, so the healthy parts I'm going to leave, and I'm going to just cut up the frozen ones. The Stapelia giganta in the center completely froze. I tried to find some healthy parts, but there was none, so I had to cut all this. There is other Stapelia giganta here by the wall, and that one froze as well. I did find some healthy parts close to the concrete wall, and it seems like all of them that were close to the concrete wall were kind of protected by the wall from freezing, so I'm gonna leave them and hopefully they will spread again. This Euphorbia froze on the top, so we're gonna probably cut it in half and see if it's gonna grow again. New pups. This, whatever this is, agave, froze. All of the aloes that I propagated here and that rooted, they completely froze. They're completely mushy. They're just gonna go to trash. They change color completely and texture. These guys have been okay, these agaves and cactuses, so that's encouraging. All of the aloe brevifolias didn't freeze. I'm really happy about that. I touched all of them. They're really firm. So that's really good. The Huernia that was close to the wall didn't freeze either, which they are very sensitive to low temperatures, but it survived. What I'm really surprised is that some of these agaves froze. All of the jades and string of buttons froze, but I'm really surprised for some of the agaves that did. And a lot of variegated aloes froze, except for the ones that were really close to the wall. It seems like they were protected by the wall and didn't completely freeze. This is frozen as well, the jade with some cactuses in arrangement. So guys, when fall started, I took a few plants that I wanted to leave in the conservatory for just a few months during the winter time, and this was one of those plants. I think this is Graptovaria Pearl, I think it's called Blue Pearl. Anyway, I kept it right by the gas heater, which I kept thinking it's just not a good spot because it's been drying up and losing a lot of leaves. And I kept thinking about I need to move it, and it was about a few weeks before the freezing happened in the conservatory. So it wasn't watered for a whole month, and it was by the gas heater, so it was super dried up. And when the freezing happened, the gas heaters were working, but they were not working properly. So only plants that were like super close to the heaters survived. So that's how this plant survived. And probably because it was super dry as well. So as soon as I found out about freezing, I went to check some of those plants that I left, and I was so happy that it survived. So I took it right away home, groomed it, like cleaned it up from the dead leaves, put it under lights, and watered it eventually. And it started blooming. It was like celebrating, I'm alive! So look at him, guys. It looks really good. So that's really exciting. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about good and bad things in conservatory, some things that have been very frustrating to me and some things that have been very encouraging to me. So it's been a few weeks ago that I came to conservatory, and it was a cold day outside, and I was breathing and I could see my breath, and it was uncomfortable working in a jacket. So I called the director and I said it's so cold, and there was also a broken window in the area that's outside of Desert Dome. So she called the city worker. He came to repair that window, and then he decided he's gonna board all of the vents in the Desert Dome. So Desert Dome started freezing when it was those super low temperatures because the gas heaters stopped working properly. Now they haven't fixed the gas heaters yet, and that was frustrating thing for me. So what if we had super low top temperatures again? The plants would continue to experience damage. When I told that to the director, she's like, well, it's not the priority to the city, and it's probably not the priority to the conservatory as well, because that's not where they have reception. So that's kind of frustrating to me. So the city worker came and boarded the vents. Vents are kind of like blinds, so they are, when they're closed, they still have a little bit of air coming in. And I like some of them being left even during the winter time because it allows the airflow. But when the heaters are not working properly, then obviously it's better to board them because they keep the warm air in. So he boarded all of the vents except the two, and it was still very warm, but still there was some air coming in. And it definitely improved the situation and the temperature. The good thing is that there was a lot more volunteers in the last period, and maybe they are very temporary volunteers, and there is the least volunteers for the Desert Dome. But I'm very happy when there is people to help me work on plants, and I like to coordinate to be in the same time with them, because there was so many big pots and big plants that died that I physically cannot manage and work, and I became very discouraged because you work really physically for a few hours and you feel like you haven't moved from point zero. So there was these two girls that I really definitely want to mention, Hillary and Emily, that were so helpful prior to freezing, because they were working with me and the director to pull all of the agaves. You know, we had those two bad looking agaves that died after blooming, and then there was two other agaves that were in a very bad shape. They were pretty heavy, and some of them were like almost 5 feet in the air and pretty wide, so it took a lot of strength for all of us working like a team to pull them out of the ground and clean up the space. Well, they came back after the freezing and they helped clean up a lot of the plants. Just this week they were helping trim the pencil tree, Euphorbia terracali, and also move some of the agaves from one location to another. So I'm going to show you, you remember these agaves that were under the pencil tree? The pencil tree kept dropping in the agaves, and they just don't look, they look always messy, and it's not a really good location for them. So we cut them, and we'll move them to the different location, and I'm really happy to show you how I arranged this section, and I will probably show you again when I'm doing update of the desert dome. So that's the good thing. A lot of people ask about the donations, if they can help, and so when I asked the director, she said that they still haven't set up any PayPal or GoFundMe. That's a little bit frustrating for me because it's been a while, but I hope that they will set up something soon. They do accept donations if you send the checks to the conservatory address. You can also donate plants, but I would recommend coordinating with me if you're interested, and I will leave my email address. Because of the weather, we still have some really low temperatures actually coming this next week, and I would advise not to send plants during that time. Or if it's easier for you not to send plants, but maybe instead of paying the shipping, just send some money, and you would like a specific plants to be bought. For example, we don't have any almost any echeverias, and I would love to go and buy some echeverias and make a echeveria section in the desert dome. You can donate the money for specific plants, and I can put your name and the date of donation when I buy the plant, and put the name of the plant and your donation and your name. So thank you so much, guys, for wanting to help. And at the end, I just want to show you a wonderful, generous donation by one of the people that watch my videos. She's the owner of the store Lush Lighting that I in the past made a video about, that sells lights for the plants, succulent plants, soil, and I was just touched by her generosity. So let's take a look. So guys, I'm in the kitchen because I had to move all of these plants from the car last night, because after I volunteer in the conservatory, I came by Lush Lighting and I didn't know that they're gonna donate so many plants. So I just left them in the car, but it started getting really cold, 13 degrees Fahrenheit last night, so I was afraid that they're gonna freeze, so I got them all inside. So I decided to use this chance to just show you what a wonderful plants Lush Lighting and Cindy have donated. I'm really touched by their generosity and kindness. Here it is, this big, I think it's cactus, reminds to Christmas tree cactus, but it's different. It kind of branches everywhere like a medusa, and it has like orangish reddish leaves when it's exposed to a lot of light. It's a really nice big specimen with a lot of pops. Really nice pot as well. Then these beautiful healthy sansevierias, we lost a lot of them. And then there is these alvortias, which is like a mixture between haworthia and aloe. There is a lot of them that they're given, some really big pots, some smaller pots. There is the box that they filled. There's this kalanchoe plant, looks like a panda, but it's a little bit different. The leaves have a little bit different shape and a little bit darker, so I'm not sure about this one. A lot of these guys, which I think it's like a Alogasteria, like Gastro aloe of some kind. And there's this variegated aloe that's been blooming. And there's another one here that's big. And this one here, I think it's like a type of senecio. I'm not sure about the idea of this one. Some of you may know. But again, really big, big plant with a lot of pops and nice spots. So really kind of them, and they're not done. They really wanted me to take some more plants, so I'm gonna go back, probably get some more. We're gonna also get some carnivorous plants from them. So really exciting. Thank you guys for watching. I'm excited about the new changes in the Desert Dome, and I can't wait to show you how it looks like as we're going through different projects. Maybe next week I'm gonna make another video. So, and thank you so much for being willing to help. We definitely need more plants. It's quite empty. So if you do have some extra plants or a little bit of money that you would like to give to help, please do so. Below I will leave my email address if you want to contact me about shipping plants, and also address of the conservatory to which you can send checks. So thank you again, and see you in the next video.